It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
Badass Slingshots,
and Mossy Oak.
The 2015 Dream Season Decree is a deadly combination of speed and precision. It's built for the moments when time stands still. When the only thing that will break the silence is an arrow slicing a clean path to the kill zone. The bow of your dreams is a nightmare for big game. This is PSE's Decree. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Hey, we're back for another Minicast, folks. Dan's got a question this week for me.
Yeah, I do. You know, this is more. Hold on, I gotta let me get to my questions and answer list here that I got for you. You know,
Boxes or whitey tighties?
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, kind of funny you brought this up. You know, this is some information that you're not gonna hear on our main cast, but I'm gonna ask you. Randy posted something on our webpage, on our Up North Journal webpage. On our Facebook page, courtesy of Jason Meekoff.
Is this something that might have slipped by my eyes? How did this happen?
It might have been. I don't know.
I've been busy lately.
You were busy, but it's asking about trappers. If are they the black sheep of conservation, or are they the unsung heroes of conservation? And it kind of. So you're the one that traps for Up North Journal, pretty much, and I'd like to go out with you when you do this because it's. But where do you see trapping playing an important, in all these instances that we have these situations that we're going on, especially now that you've seen some photographs that you've got some wily coyotes up at your place stealing your dinner.
Yep.
How do you think trappers are seen in the conservation world?
By who?
Okay, so let's buy our own.
Buy our own? Whoa, well, I don't know, man. That's a good question. Sometimes I feel like, you got to remember, I've only been trapping for about 3 years. And when I talk about trapping, I've got traps. I've put them out. I've caught some animals. I've sold some fur. I've put some fur up. Am I a trapper per se, hardcore? No. I'm still learning.
There is definitely some families out there that rely a lot on this.
Sure, absolutely. And there's times I've said, yeah, I trap to somebody in the outdoor community, whether they be a casual hunter or whatever, and they kind of look at you with a raised eyebrow, like, "Ooh, why would you do that?" And then there's been other people that have said, "Wow, man, that's cool. I'd like to learn how to do that," or even "Thank you." I think the people who look down on trappers as the black sheep of the outdoors don't really understand trapping and how important it is, or it can be. We're like right now we're having a problem with coyotes up at our area. Not only does it hurt the fawns, and predation of the fawns, but think about turkey poults.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Grouse. What did we figure out the little grouse were called? What was the term?
Why'd you do that to me?
I put you on the spot.
You did.
We talked about this on a minicast a while back.
But
the young grouse, rabbits. We're just now starting to see rabbits, snowshoe hares come back around our hunting area, and that's part of one of the things I've been reading about. And we've got a book where somebody come and did put a plan together on conservation for our hunting area.
Okay.
And they talked about we need brush piles so small critters, rabbits, and other animals got a chance to escape predators.
Absolutely. They need a little escape route.
So, if nobody's per se trapping, putting the heat on these guys a little bit, they're free to do what they want to do.
See, I think it's kind of funny. You'll get a bad rap from a certain people. Mm-hmm. You'll get a bad rap from the certain people, but then all of a sudden, once you take and let's say you've got somebody that's having a problem with muskrats.
Oh, we live in an area where it's inundated with lakes here where you and I live. And I don't know how many times I've heard a guy I work with, I was supposed to get over and try, this is before the house caught fire and everything, and we had all those issues, but he wanted me to trap his lakefront because they were undermining his seawall.
Oh, geez.
It's like, come hell or high water, he wanted him gone because, he's got thousands of dollars into this seawall and it's collapsing.
Yeah, exactly.
Another guy I work with actually was wanting me to loan him some live traps because he was having a muskrat problem out in an adjacent property to his house that was a right-of-way by the power company.
Okay.
So it was an unkept area, and it had standing water in it and had muskrats, and they were starting to tunnel. All of a sudden, it's not a problem until it becomes a problem. And when it becomes a problem to you, then it becomes personal. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, what? And then people come to me, hey, can you help out?
All of a sudden,
you're their best friend.
Exactly. Isn't that how kind of ironic how that works? And in this day and age, it's like you get a bad rap, but then all of a sudden you need to turn around and make that person your best friend because you need their help.
Yeah. There's another person I work with had problems with varmints in the attic, getting into the attic. How do I take care of that? What should I do? You give them tips on live trap and try to get them out because they didn't want to kill the animals, which I commend them for. That's cool.
Absolutely.
But then they had to put them in a witness relocation program. To get them.
Yeah.
So yeah, trapping does have a place. It's got a purpose. Can we control the population of pests and predators? Yeah, we can keep it somewhat in check. It's a resource. It's a renewable resource, and as long as you're not doing it for the thrill kill. Just
no. You're not.
As long as you're not doing that, and you're not leaving animals in traps for long periods of time. You're dispatching them properly, and you're doing it the right way. I don't see any problem. It's useful.
If like I've seen some stories on where they've had the whole family involved, or the younger people of the family are doing it, and then they're turning out. And I was just at a gun and knife show here a couple weeks back that had furs there, and they were asking $75 for a pelt or a hat or whatever the price was,
right?
And that's income that and think about everything that's gone into to get to that point.
Handmade,
handmade. The person went out, trapped it. It's another one. Gloves. It's just. I think, as we see it, like you said, it's a renewable resource, and plus the bonding that goes into, and the feeling proud you'd get of taking that skin from being trapped, setting the trap all the way to, in this case, if you go sell the fur.
Yeah.
I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, well, I mean, trapper, I didn't. When I say put my furs up, I scraped them and stretched them. I didn't tan them. The only thing I've tanned the deer hide, which turned out pretty doggone good, I think. And I learned a lot with that process. So now it's like, okay, I was able to do that. Now I think I might be able to start tanning other things. So at some point that's going to be the next process or step of things I want to go through and learn how to put fur up, as we say. And then tan it and process it and use it for something else. It's
exactly. And we talked to that gentleman, the fur trapper at the one show we were at. And he would get up before he went to work and go check his trap line and stuff. And
right.
Just, you gotta have a little bit of dedication, but I think the gratification is a wonderful thing.
I thoroughly enjoyed running my small trap line when I had it out. I didn't trap last year. I'm hoping to this year to get back into it a little more, but there's something about going out and running a line, and yeah, it's like Christmas, man. It's like, okay, what am I going to get? You
What are you going to get for this present, right?
Yeah. So,
But no, I just wanted to ask your opinion of how you felt you were being viewed.
I've seen it both ways.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it depends on who's doing the viewing, But yeah, from our own people, yeah, I think some people look down on trappers. Like we're the little stepchild, the little dirty guy on the side here,
Yep, exactly.
But you know what? Who's the first person you call when you got trouble with critters?
Absolutely.
So, no, that's my take on it.
That's what I got for you.
All right, that'll do it for this minicast. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
Badass Slingshots,
and Mossy Oak.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.